I just had a major breakthrough. I'm always sitting here thinking about why certain things don't work, how to strategize, how to optimize, how to make things better, especially for the people that I'm coaching, so that they can learn whatever it is they're trying to learn better, so they can apply for jobs better, so they can research better. And just sitting here, I was thinking about boot camps, and it hit me on the main reason that boot camps can't work. It's not that they don't work, but they're it's almost impossible for them to work successfully, especially right now. And I'm gonna break it down to you so that you can understand why in the current system of the way that boot camps operate, they just about can't work. However, you might be able to adjust your mindset so whatever online course or bootcamp that you are taking, it becomes more beneficial to you instead of just playing a zero sum game. All right, we're gonna get into it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Candid Conversations, hosted by your truly tech coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. Remember, we take no days off here. We are always working. We are always winning. So let's put it like this. Actually, before you go any further, just do me a favor. If you are new here, do me a favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time that we go live and drop new content, as well as go to techcoachralph.dev. You can sign up for free, tons and tons of exclusive content. I upload the sprint reviews that my tech barbarians do, the whole Scrum night. I do content about how to use LinkedIn efficiently, how to use Glassdoor, how to use AI, how to update your resume. I'm going to be going live very, very soon, probably in November, on updating my resume so that you can see how I do it. I'm actually going to be making big changes to it, compressing it a little bit, always focusing on the highlights. Tune in over there. You can sign up for free. You can sign up for one-on-one coaching. We can run it up together. But with that being said, let's get into it, right? So why do I say that boot camps cannot work effectively? I mean, they work because they have tons and tons of people who sign up for it, right? But why can they not work effectively? So if you think about an actual real boot camp, not a technology boot camp, not some other, workout fitness boot camp and stuff like that, right? Not even one of those beach body Shaun T training videos. I'm talking about military boot camp. I'm talking about major pain type boot camp. I'm talking about the real boot camps that people like Jocko Willink and David Goggins and Tim Kennedy and the list goes on and on and on, right? What they had to go through in order to get to where they are. When I'm talking about the type of boot camp where you have the boot camp instructor or leader or whatever they're called, right? They are in your, like, they're making you wake up at 5 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, 3 in the morning, whatever time that they have to wake up, right? And you're going to sleep at, like, they tell you when to wake up, they tell you when to go to sleep, they tell you exactly what your responsibilities are, exactly what you need to do, right? They're making you work out in different types of workouts, all this type of stuff. Goes way, way deeper than coaching. And they are making you do that in order to get a particular result, in order to build resiliency. So what happens now, we try to take the term boot camp, but we don't actually take the concept and the model of boot camp. The only relevance that boot camp in the way that we currently use it in, like, the tech field, fitness field, and things like that, the only relevance to the real military style boot camp is we do it quickly. We just want to rush through it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And then we just call that a boot camp because it goes quickly, but it doesn't have the pain, the hardship, the intensity, the discipline, and the consistency that the real boot camps go through. I'll tell you this, right? When I'm coaching people, and sometimes the slightest bit of discomfort that you might give them, then they start to give pushback, or they disappear, or drop out, and things like that. And people will say that I'm hard, I'm tough. And I'm thinking, well, aren't you trying to take what you're learning and put it out there in the real world where it's going to be like the work that you do? will either make or break the revenue stream a company. If you think that I'm tough, that I'm hard, then you have not been in the real world yet. You can say whatever you want about me, but I always tell the people that I associate with, I don't care what you think about me. I just want you to win. If you win and you dislike me, then that means I'm successful. If you love me, but you fail over and over and over again, then I'm a loser. I'm not doing my job. I'm doing you a disservice. So, but that's why I'm saying that the way that boot camps are structured nowadays is that, and that's why they cannot be successful for you. They'll be successful for themselves, trust me, because if, let's say they're charging $10,000 per person and they have 100 people in a cohort, how much money is that, right? That's a lot of money. But how about you though? How about you, the one paying you? Yes, you, the one paying the $10,000. And now it's like you can go at your own pace. What the hell? What kind of real boot camp is you go at your own pace? And because I'll tell you this too, in a real boot camp, if you cannot keep up, they will put you out. Like it's not. Oh, I'm just gonna do whatever it is that I want to do. It's structured. You like. I'm telling you, like, how many times do I come across people? I'm like, all right, this is the blueprint. I give them the blueprint of this is what you need to do to get to where you want to go. And I get pushback of, well, how, like, what about if I do this? I'm like, well, if doing it your way worked for you, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be talking to me. So but that's the problem. Like with our mentality, you see, and I can't even fault the boot camps for this. I fault us. I fault you. I fault the mentality that has been embedded into our minds, where we think that just like we want to do it our way. Our feelings lead us to wanting to do it our way. It doesn't matter what you think at the end of the day. All right, I'm just gonna be honest. I have to be honest, right? If you're not winning, it really doesn't matter what you think. I hate to. I don't. I was gonna say I hate to say it like this, but I don't. I have to tell you the truth, and that's why people don't like me sometimes, because I have to tell you the truth. Where if you're not winning, it does not matter. No one cares. Like when a team wins a championship, right? When a team wins a championship, they might interview the losing team after, like in the locker room sometime, and nobody's here to watch it, right? No one cares what the losers have to say. It's unfortunate. Not really. I mean, to some people it's unfortunate. Not really to me. It is what it is. I mean, when I lose, if I'm in a tournament and I lose, I'm like, it is what it is. I'm not crying about it. I'm studying what I did wrong. But now we want to insert what we think about things that we do not know, so that we can feel some type of I don't know. I don't even know what people feel, right? Some type of ownership or something. So my deal is, we have to, like, you, however you want to take it, the one who is trying to get somewhere has to reshape your mindset to, number one, if I'm joining something, right, I need to be 100% committed to it. There can be nothing else that's going to stand in the way. I cannot make any excuses. I cannot try to do it at my own pace. I cannot do it under my own rules. I cannot do what I think is best, because what I think is best has gotten me to where I'm at today. And for a lot of people, as we can clearly see, as we review things on LinkedIn, it is not good. And I'll just throw this in there too, right? Because a lot of people will tell me that, oh, not everybody can do this, not everybody can do that. That's totally fine with me. That's totally fine with me. My problem is when someone is complaining about it, saying, I'm not happy where I'm at, but I don't want to do anything about it. I'm like, then I have no sympathy. Like either you're going to change your circumstances, you're going to do something, but I'm not going to be the one to listen to you complain. You know, there's other people who might not mind listening to it. You can call into their shows and you just cry about it. Say, oh, you know, like I can't find a job here. I'm like, hey, what did you do? All right. I can't tell you. Like just the other day, we're reviewing a post where someone is talking about they're putting the desperate banner on their LinkedIn profile. But then when you look at their resume, it's like gotta be honest again. When you look at their resume, they would be much better well spent working on their resume, working to build skills for their resume, working to build things that they can actually brag about on their resume instead of complaining online on LinkedIn to the very people they want to hire them. Like we don't think, you see, and this goes to the same mindset as we approach like these learning activities, these boot camps. Whether you're doing a Udemy program or you're doing a boot camp for whoever's offering the boot camp, you have to be focused. We just want to be in everything, right? Oh, like what's going on here and what's going on there? What's going here? And oh yeah, let me allocate 30 minutes to my class. How many people say, right? I'm in this job, but I want to get to this other job, right? But the company won't how can I find time on the job to learn how to do whatever it is that I'm doing, that I'm trying to learn how to do? And I'm like, well, why don't you wake up 2 hours before and go to sleep 2 hours later so you can put an extra 4 hours into whatever you're trying to learn? But how will I be able to do this? You're going to have to sacrifice. See, a real boot camp, you are sacrificing your life for however long that boot camp is. You're sacrificing all the things that you want. You're sacrificing all your hopes and your aspirations and all that other stuff. Your sacrifice, that has to go on the back burner. I know people will be like, oh, but family this and family that. Well, you have to sacrifice for your family. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your family in order to sacrifice for your family. I know people who have to be away from I know men who have to be away from their wife and kids for like months at a time, working in a different state so that they can be able to provide. So they're sacrificing their family for their family. And sometimes you're going to have to do the same thing if you really want what you say you want. You got to be focused. You have to be locked in. And it's hard to see how we want something, but we want it under our own terms. See, me, I knew early that I had to play the game, right? If I want something, I have to do what's needed to be. If I want something, I need to do what I need to do to get it, right? It's not like, well, I want it, but it has to be done my way. Well, if I was in the position to do it my way, then I probably wouldn't need it, right? It would probably just be a want at that point. So we have to refocus, because a boot camp, for the most part, I mean, there's some other issues with boot camps, but for the most part, it can work. Those Udemy classes definitely work. I've learned so much on Udemy in the past years, like going on almost 10 years now. I've been using Udemy, right? And I've learned a lot from it. But it's the strategy. See, and that's the problem that a lot of people have. They don't have the strategy. I remember back in 2016, maybe 2015-ish, right? I wanted to change jobs, but there were some skills that I was lacking. And I would wake up. I used to need to be to work at like 8 a.m. Right? I would wake up around 5:30 a.m. Put in an hour to learn what I had to learn. Right? Sometimes a little bit earlier, but I put at least 5:30. Wake up, study, take the course, practice it, and then after work, for another 2 hours, I would go back to it did what I did this in that morning, and then continue to learn, and then the next morning go over what I did the night before. All right, that's too much information. That's too much information. That's too much strategy right there, right? If you want more of that, you got to go to techcoachdraft.dev, right? For that type of game, you got to go to techcoachdraft.dev, how to use these online learning platforms efficiently so that you can level up, right? But in boot camps, in training, jiu-jitsu, karate, taekwondo, wrestling, whatever, right? We have drills. What are drills? Drills are things that you do over and over and over again so that you can build repetition. Here's one of the problems that I've noticed throughout the years, my 4.5 years now doing jiu-jitsu, is that people, they go through the drills to get to the live training. And once they get to the sparring, live training sparring, right? Once you get to the sparring. And once they get there, they don't remember anything that they did while drilling because they don't really care about the drilling. They just want to get to the fighting part, right? And you're not really learning anything. The drilling makes your sparring better if you value the drilling. And I learned that I learned really early doing jiu-jitsu that slow down, learn the move, learn the technique, and then, although it's going to be hard to execute it during sparring, keep trying to execute until you actually get it. So one of the moves that I became really, really good at, I remember when I was learning it early on, I would try it over and over and over and over. I would study it night and day, get to the gym, try it over and over and over again. If I could just get the very first part of it accomplished for like 2 weeks straight, it had to be like 2 weeks. I would just do that over. And as soon as I get that, then I let the person go and do whatever they want, start over, get that same position over and over and over and over again until I felt that I had mastered it. Now I'm like, all right, let's progress to the very next step. And it took maybe about 6 months to get it down like that I could do it in my sleep. But it was even when sparring, I was drilling, right? So the other person is sparring, they're going crazy and things like that. I'm still drilling because I need to work on this particular move because I did not care about winning or beating somebody, submitting somebody inside of while we're training in the gym. It didn't mean anything to me because I had a long-term goal. So I asked you, what is your long-term goal? What's your vision? Is your vision to get into an industry to just do things your way? Or is it to be successful? Are you going to trust the people who have success and do it their way? And then once you become at a higher level, expert level, whatever, a subject matter expert, then you can start seeing how you can plug your own things in there. For years, I was just doing what I learned over and over and over again and seeing things that worked and like trying the things that I learned in different positions at different times. But then just I'm telling you, in the past few months, I started seeing more because I had learned so much, and there's still a lot for me to. I'm talking about jiu-jitsu right now, right? There's still a lot more for me to learn. However, my eyes opened up where I'm like, oh, I'm thinking in a different way. I'm starting to create things as opposed to just doing what I've been taught. I'm using what I was taught to see different opportunities to create things to create things that way. So that takes me to, let's go back to boot camps. You need to build that discipline. It's hard. Like it's going to be hard for a boot camp where you are not like, kind of like how the military is, where they're in your face telling you that what you're doing wrong and yelling at you and making you feel like crap and making you work so hard every single day. It's going to be hard. Like, so it's not a real boot camp. You're just taking an online course with somebody who's teaching you. That's what it is at the end of the day. But will you put yourself in the position of a boot camp? will you be hard on yourself? Will you have somebody else to take like to that's going to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do? Maybe a mother, a father, maybe a spouse. If you're supposed to be up at 4:30 in the morning so that you can be studying, learning, all of that, and you don't do it, and they say, "Hey, get up, you loser. What the hell are you doing? You said you were going to do A, B, C, and D, and you haven't done it. You're failing. Are you going to really be a failure?" And honestly, they should talk to you much harsh, but this is for YouTube, so I got a limit to what I'm saying, But at the end of the day, if you come to me, I really don't care about your feelings. Win first, and then we'll talk about feelings later. Let's win first, and then we can have a discussion about feelings. But I guarantee you this: once you start winning, you're gonna forget all about your feelings. I'll tell you that. But we have to readjust our mindset, the way that we think about things, the level of effort that we put in. Our effort it just has to go. I've seen so many people, they start off strong. A week in, 2 weeks in, 4 weeks in, fall out, you don't hear from them anymore. I've had people, at the very beginning, I have people, they come in really, really strong. Oh yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this QA thing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then they fall by the wayside. And I'm like, at least it was a low investment for you to find out that it wasn't for you. See, I'm going to say it again. Tech is hard. Discipline is even harder, right? Because there's so much discipline that goes in tech. How do you write your code? How do you structure your, if you're doing testing, how do you structure your testing? Testing requires a lot of discipline. Having to know what you need to check, make sure you do it, having to be able to communicate with people. Tech is hard. That's why if you're very disciplined, it makes tech a lot easier for you. If you can master discipline, right? And that's why I don't really care about motivation like that. We just got to do, there are times that I wake up like, man, I'm kind of tired to do this morning show or to do the stream. I'll give you an example. The other day, the whole past week, I was teaching morning classes for jiu-jitsu, and I had my scrum day on Thursday. So I have my sprint review, and this is for work. I have my sprint review, I have my sprint retrospective, and I have my sprint planning. So I'm up at 4:30 that morning as well. Teach a class, go through the whole day, and I'm on a planning committee for a conference. We're working on that. And then I still had to live stream, and we had a great show. And I was tired. But I'm like, the work comes first. And then after I'm done, we'll sleep a little bit, right? But the work has to get done first. Right? So that's my thoughts. That's why I say boot camps cannot work well for you, right? It can't work well for you because if you want it done on your terms, they're going to give it to you on your terms. But guess what? Your terms is what got you to the situation you're in now, right? That's why I got you going to get some useless college degree. That's why I got you running up your debt. That's why I got you not knowing where to go next. That's why I got you in the boot camp. That's why I got you going at your own pace. That's why I got you probably watching this video. Sorry to say, but if you are watching this video and you got this far, do me a favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time that we go live and drop new content. And go over to techcoachdrop.dev where you can get exclusive content. I have some special live streams. I'm going to be updating my resume probably in November on a live stream, probably on some Sunday night. You have content on my sprint reviews that I do with my tech barbarians, the full scrum night, have how to use LinkedIn effectively, how to use Glassdoor to research companies and salaries and interview questions, how to use AI to get interview questions. So when you're being interviewed, you know what to ask back when they ask you, do you have any questions for us? And you can sign up for one-on-one coaching so that I can help you level up. But if you're going to come to me and you're going to be whining and crying and say that I'm too mean and you got to do things your way and you're busy and you, like, your life is so whatever, then do me a favor, right? As much as I would like to have you, do not come, all right? The famous words, do not come, all right? With that being said, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in to another episode of Candid Conversations. We were just finished talking about why boot camps cannot work efficiently and effectively for you. We're done. We're going to get out of here. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful Monday and the rest of your week. This is Tech Coach Ralph. We are out.
Ralph the tech coach ain't leads the squad. Breaking down the code ain't no facade. Agile in his veins, he moves like a sprint. Real projects, real teams, yo, that's his stint. Talking structure, yo, he breaks it down clean. From object models to the microservice scene. Got QA rolling, catching bugs in the act. Every test they write, that code stays intact. Ralph got the swagger running that code scene. Building up devs like machines, you feel me? From scrums to sprints, he leads that pack, teaching all the